The forest was dark. Night had already fallen, and Chris McLean was trudging through it all, having been where he shouldn't have for far too long. As Chris walked, knife at the ready, waiting for an attack, a strange creature from up high was watching. Bright, glowing, ice-blue eyes with slit, darker bluish-purple pupils were watching intently. Humans didn't find their way into these woods often, and those that didn't live this long. The other magical woodland creatures usually got to them first. Eventually, Chris found himself impossibly lost. Nowhere left he could think to go. Rustling through the bushes close by was enough for Chris to know he'd seen, heard, and maybe even thought too much. "Well, you seem lost." Chris whipped around to face that voice, also known as the Void. Beads of sweat pierced his face, his eyes darting back and forth through the darkness, seeing absolutely nothing. Chris thought he was losing it. Sighing with relief, Chris turned to continue his trek, and right in his path stood a figure in shadow. Chris shrieked so loud the figure covered their ears. He jumped so high he dropped his knife. He fell to the ground in utter shock. "I hate it when they do that," the figure muttered. Who are you?" Chris panicked. The figure smirked, though Chris couldn't see, and his eyes sparkled. "I'm Cage. Let's get you out of here." Extending his hand with a subtle bow, Cage reached out to Chris, who timidly took the demon's hand.